Blessed is that man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies.
So the Bible says, blessed is the man that makes the Lord his trust, and respects not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. So you may believe that we spent money to go to Africa to deal with prostitutes, smoke weed, and boy booty. That's a lie, brothers and sisters. That is a lie. Give me Psalms 101 and 7. Exactly. Psalms 101 and 7.
Psalms 101 and verse 7. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house.
Brothers, listen. You sisters too. Any of us in here listening right now that deal deceitfully, the Most High says you will not dwell in his house, meaning his kingdom. You will not be there. Go ahead.
He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight.
God don't deal with liars.
Right.
God don't deal with liars.
Right.
God don't deal with liars.
Great millstone camp with that raping children and having sex with children and raping women.
Right.
God don't deal with liars.
Great millstone camp with that raping children and having sex with children and raping women.
Right.
God don't deal with liars.
We at Sicarii are in unison with our UIC.
In June, ain't no microchips.
Right.
God don't deal with liars.
You GMS bums, God is going to judge you.
That's right.
Now. Because if any of you rape any sister here, you're going to be dealt with. If you touch any woman, you're going to be dealt with.
Now that the Bible has made it clear that it's permissible to rape, why are we still reading the Bible?
Keyshawn, the water for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate you. So Hassad, we're going to get killed if we don't believe it's okay to grape 11 and 12-year-olds.
Yeah, and because we're saying that with a hat on.
Damn. That's a bit harsh. That I have to get the lake of fire because I vehemently disagree of the grape of our 11 and 12-year-old young sisters who are already getting kidnapped and are damn near endangered species all across the Ecclesiastes of this world. Why? Why?
I love all of our people, Deacon, but I cannot stand. Well, you know what? I was about to say I can't stand Hebrew Israelites. These aren't Hebrew Israelites, so they don't even.
And you know, it was an honor serving you niggas, honor teaching you niggas. That his leader likes to get his ass played with. That's just like, why are stones being thrown from people with glass houses? And he was my best friend for 13 years. We could also get his other best friend, Sergeant Yatai, who known him since he was 10 years old. That's what he's into. That's what he likes. That's not what I like. And there's not a woman, anybody in the whole world who can give a testimony to say, that's what I like.
Chief Priest Alexander Lawyer, okay. She responds, starts out at 3-inch and slim. Then we work our way up if you want. Read the info in the description. Okay, that does sound perfect. Not I'm gonna get hit with something bigger than you get hit with. That's crazy.
That do possess the kingdom, both now and forever. Call halal, Yahweh Shem Yahusha.
Now look. I just want to make this clear. Could he be an Israelite? Maybe. I can't say for sure. He is a skinhead. I'm going to retitle this GMS Skinhead Rebuke Sicarii. Did you hear that high pitch Did you guys hear that high pitch? Yeah, how? Watch when he says yeah. Watch Hassad. Watch how he says the incommunicable name.
Hello, I'm Yasharallah, peace Israel. This is Tawada Yahawada. I'm a Hebrew Israelite coming back at you with the spirit and power of Yahweh. At you with the spirit and power of Yahweh. Spirit and power of Yahweh.
Yahweh Shai, it's the name of the Most High God and the Son. The world ignorantly knows it's Jesus Christ. The Hebrew Israelites, you come out here week in, week out, prophesy the downfall, and pretty much call back our people to the nationality. Yahweh Shai, it's the name of the Most High God and the Son. The world ignorantly knows it's Jesus Christ. The Hebrew Israelites, you come out here week in, week out, prophesy the downfall, and pretty much call back our people to the nationality.
Shalom. This is Tawash Ban Zabalawan. I'm going to give quick clarity on a slight misconception. In 1 Chronicles 12, verse 33, of Zabalawan, such went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. A lot of people break this down for Zebulon, saying that out of all the other tribes, Zebulon was gifted with expertise in war. Zebulon was gifted with more rank, structure, military structure, and more soundness and dedication of mind. But that's not the case. When you read the chapter in entirety, right, it says Dan was expert in war. It says Asher was expert in war.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, you fellow believers of this truth, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, sometimes when I start out to do a video, it starts in one direction, and then the spirit leads me to go into different things, and then you have this whole blown out particular type of intro. It's just that what I do through the spirit. So it was originally for the IUIC, but then it wound up being the Sicarii, and I just wanted to go into the hypocrisy of these groups, right? So Bishop Nathaniel is complaining that people are lying on him, and people said, he may have done that, because this is Israel. But the worst thing you can do is go out in the public as this group and the Genesis group and say that we rape little girls. And then this man, Priest Hakar, he lines it up with what's happening today with young women being snatched and taken. And this is simp mentality. That's what it is. It's simp mentality. These guys will do anything, right, to appease the woman. But really, it's not really simping. It's clever. It's demonic, which goes to intelligence, right? We're going to get a scripture real quick. 2 Timothy 3 and 6. Sometime I might start staying in the NIV on some of this. It says, they are the kind who worm their way into homes and control over gullible women. The only reason why this rape thing comes up, right? Because it's the woman. Let's be honest. It has nothing to do with doctrine to these guys. It has everything to do to show you as women, this is the group you need to stay away from, because I need to retire in my Mercedes Benz, right? It says, who are loaded down with sins and are swayed by all kinds of evil desires. Now, this same group was with Sicarii, and now they're exposing everything that was going on with the booty bandits, right? And all the things that was going on. And could it be possible this is the reason why this guy left? Well, Hassad left. There was a disagreement. And then the deacon / priest, he changes his name. I remember his name was Hakar Gabal Yum, but now he changed it to the deacon Hakar, then he showed it to the deek. I don't know. Now it's the priest. These guys got all kinds of personalities going on, in the truth. So is it possible that they left and they saw the sick behavior, or were they indulging in these things? I'm not saying that's the case, But a lot of these men, a lot of these people who sell out, they indulge themselves in these kind of practices. I didn't put the clip in there with Bishop Nathaniel and the penis pics because it wears out. But the fact that this man literally said that we go around raping young girls and women, and then put it out there and say, if you rape any of these women, like, who the hell are you? You just one so-called false fake detective now. We have to answer to the Most High, number one, because what did the scriptures say? Let me get that. Let me get what the scripture says in, I believe it's in Romans 13. What does the Bible say about that? And in fact, we're not even in our heritage, as Jeremiah 17:4 say, right? We're not even in our heritage right now, right? So it says, and then we're going to get the actual scripture. It says, let everyone submit to the governing authorities, since there is no authority except from God, and authorities that exist are instituted by God. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 22 real quick. 22. Just real quick, I'm not going to go into some whole breakdown on Deuteronomy 22 and 28. And I wanted to bring this up because it says, if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and rapes her, and they be discovered, then he shall give the damsel father 50 shekels of silver. So we see this in the NIV. You see this in the Christian Standard Bible. In the old Bible, it says commit lechery. In the Bible of 1300s. Here, the Christian Standard Bible says, and rapes her. And then it says, and they are discovered. And some translations say, and the crime be discovered. Because women were property. So if you stole my car, you know, most of us who had their car stolen before, we kind of don't want it anymore, right? So we wind up selling it. So this is the same thing. Women were property. So if somebody took your daughter and they did this, then they have to pay the value of her, because it wouldn't work, especially, and this is the betrothed one. If you go up verse 22 and say 26, it says, if a man takes a woman who is betrothed, then they both supposed to be put to death, because now she is given to somebody else, right? So the thing with women, if they lay with a man, and they're betrothed to be with somebody, and they wind up liking it, then she's no good. She needs, so you broke the contract, right? So it's the same thing with a car. If somebody steals your car, you don't want it, so you sell it. So this is the same thing. Your daughter's giving up now, so there's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? Lock them up? Throw away the key? Is that what you're going to do? Now what is this woman supposed to do? Now, where's the value in this woman from her father? So he would give the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. It's just that simple, to compensate. And everybody's good. Okay? It's not that hard to figure out. But this is scripture I want to get, 2 Peter 2 and 3. It says, in their greed, these teachers would exploit you with fabricated stories. I want to go into this word fabricate. I don't know what it's going to say. We look up things as we go along. Online etymology. Fabricate. Let's see what it says. We know it's exaggerating. Fashion to build. To make, construct, fashion to build, in a bad sense, to tell a lie. Right? Fabrication, manufacturing, construction, basically a lie. Making action, to make, construct. So construct, lying, falsehood, forgery, right? Let's go to forgery. Forgery, which goes to copying, a form of lying with intent, falsely, made fraudulently, right? So these guys are literally, they're painting the narrative in the picture that, because the discussion with Brother Polite, right, was a thing where it wasn't speaking in reality, so to speak. It was speaking in something, if it may have been possible in a particular time or age, so to speak. Basically, the story was told in the manner of what if the circumstances existed, in that time, and if it existed in this time, if we were living in that time, in this time, you get the point. And they knew this, and they capitalized off of what was said, and they did exactly what Esau does, twist things. They do exactly what the news media does, right? The news media will catch a man smacking a woman, right? But they will not show the clip of the woman smacking a man. That's exaggerated fallacies, and this is what they've managed to do. They've managed to take something out of context, really literally out of context of the story, context of the story of what actually happened then, and they applied it to the day as if this was the case. And then they say, for our little girls that has been taken and exploited and so forth and so on. I don't get that, but it is, they're using, and this man just showed a picture of his little girl he just had. These are some weak Jake, man. Is wicked. And they know this. So they managed to take the story and fabricate it and make fabricated lies, right? Let's go back to where I was. Thought I had it up. They just fabricated the story and made a lie. Let's go back. And they agreed these teachers will exploit you with fabricated stories. Their condemnation has long been hanging over them, and their destruction has not been sleeping, right? So this is why that group broke up. This is why they have the problems that they're having. But then what they're trying to do is run and escape what's actually happening. Now, the other scripture, I don't know if I read that. Let me see here. Let me go back here. Let me see. Yeah, 2 Timothy 3:6. Yeah, here we go again. They that are the kind who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women, who are loaded down with sins and are swayed by all kinds of evil desires. Right. And this is what they do. Their evil desires, as you saw what happened with the Sicarii, with priest Eleazar, and the other ones that's the booty bandits that's up in there, is all those women. And what they do is they take captive these women, and when they captivate these women tend to do all their fetishes, right? Whether it's just to have sex with them, it's all about their fetishes. They're just there to gain women. They don't understand the culture of who we are. They think it's just about recreational sex. Pretty much. And dropping babies. Matthew 23:1 and 2. The scribes and Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All there, therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe, and that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Right? These are the same guys that calls us rapists, but these same guys got all these lewd, lascivious behaviors. The ISUPK too, right? These are the same guys that got toys and trinkets, and all kinds of freakism going on in their schools. The same thing with Brother Polite. He said we, exposed us to so-called raping, but look what he did. Look what Shaka Amos did with his stepdaughter. You see what I'm saying? All these guys that talk this trash, they're the main freaks, and you women don't see it. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't any more peggers doing these lewd, lascivious behaviors, right? The Lord is going to expose you guys, though, okay? But that's why he said, don't do as they say, but don't do as they do. They're bearing false witness. They're liars. They're hypocrites, but they're reading not to do it. They're teaching, don't do it. You shouldn't lie on your brother. You shouldn't bear false witness on your brother. They're saying these things, but look what they're doing. They're literally putting videos out and taking small clips and saying that we're rapists of little children, but then say, well, and if this is not meant to be from the ancient times, they're showing that they're meaning this to be for today. Or other words, they wouldn't say that we have to protect our little children and the girls and the little children. These are the same guys that say that we got white boys in the camp. And John 6:63 says the spirit quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. They got such an issue. But these phony ass hypocrites, they steal everything we steal. I mean, we do. They take everything we take and then they condemn us for it. But then they put white boys in the camp, white looking guys in the camp. White men. I'm going to call it like it is. I'm not going to call them boys. These are grown ass men. But then they'll say we got white boys in the camp. Let's look at the comments. Let's look at the comments from this brother here. I don't know his name. Sicarii, Page, Pagwara, Aluni, or something like that. It might be Northern Tribe. But this is what it says. It's only 11 comments, but I just want to read a couple things. Why does Sicarii leader want his woman of the Most High and have her looking for a white man, right? So these police you expect to get shalom, the hell to come with that. All praises to the Most High. Bring it out, King. Notice it's a black woman here. It's a black woman. She's not likely to call this man look black. She probably wouldn't call him a king. But who knows? She got all the fire symbols. Big Con, right? All right, caveman, Slim Shady. Now we get that in our camp. But guess what? If you want to adopt and steal everything we get, right, you got to accept the consequences that come with it. And this is why I believe this group Genesis, they slid out. And I don't know why they call themselves Genesis, because they damn sure not. But hey, that's a title. But they slid themselves out of this particular group because they didn't want the backlash. They know we was exposing this group, right? With the letters of Paul, right? With the Christians destroying them. And that's San Francisco, Sicarii. That is the worst camp I believe ever taught on the hedges. Vocab, David Lynn, they all know they just look. If you want to try to stumble a Hebrew Israelite and say it's all Hebrews, all you got to do is go to the Sicarii San Francisco camp, and you'll get your wish. That's just a fact. Okay. Let's go to Titus 1:11. I'll go to KJV. Their mouths must be stopped who subvert whole houses, teaching things that they ought not, for filthy lucre, right? And to gain advantage for money. And this is why they teaching the letters of Paul is done away with. This is why the IUIC says you can call Jesus the Messiah whatever you want, means you can call him Satan if you want. I mean, that's the logic that they're pushing. Okay. Exodus 20 says, thou shalt not have any other God beside me. But for whatever reason, they got Christ on their shirt. I mean, you're supposed to be identifying with one power, but they're identifying and merging like the children of Israel did. They would take other gods and merge them with the true God of Israel. And that's what's happening with these phony frauds. And then the Genesis group, who's a splinter off of Sicarii, takes what they want to take from GMS and then talk shit on Apostle Tahar, when the whole time you got the name, the lunar Sabbath, right? The mark of the beast, you got it all from him. And then you'll sit up there, and I'm going to tell you how phony these guys are. They'll sit up there and say, hey, I respect him, he was my teacher, and this and that. And then they'll turn around and talk trash, and then take something that was not meant to speak literal, right? And then make it literal in the day of these times. And then bring out the fact that young women are being exploited. Well, if they are, it's the Lord doing that. Then we go into the time of Median with Moses, when it actually did happen. Did they forget about that? But we know we don't teach to rape anyone. Come on now. We would be on the news. We would be arrested for even conspiracy. If we thought it was okay to do that, there would be a conspiracy charges. Yeah. Okay. Their mouths must be stopped. Let's go to Isaiah 59:4. Isaiah 59:4. Let me go to NIV. No one calls for justice. No one pleads a case with integrity. They rely on empty arguments. They utter lies. They conceive trouble and give birth to evil. This is where Yohanan say no black people looked at GMS Israelite groups until he came up with that doctrine, when the Christians already had the doctrine. It's already in the Christian Bibles. But when this man teach you can have the anal sex with your wife, and he literally puts it out there, right? This man teach these wicked things. Okay? That's what they teach. When the bishop is sharing penis pics, and then there's pegging kits. And all these guys are associated. And then these same two groups fight one another. But then they'll unite to come against what we teach happened in the ancient times. Somebody make that make sense. They got freakism in the Sicarii. There's freakism in the Iuic, right? There's freakism in the ISBK. They're all freaks. And they're all hypocrites. At least they all teach a freak doctrine. They all teach a freak doctrine. That's why the scripture says, woe unto you scribes and Pharisees, the hypocrites. Right? That's why he says that. Woe unto you blind guides. Whoever's, let me go on down here. Woe unto you scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites. It say you may clean the outside of the cup with those flashy garments and buckles and bracelets, right? And of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. They are blind Pharisees. Cleanse first that which is within the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may look clean also. And that's what it is. They're like a sepulcher, where it looks beautiful on the outside, painted nice, but inside is dead men's bones. Anyway, that's all I have.